It's me. Bad skin and all. It's been a while since I've posted, and I don't know if I'm going to do this one public or not. I did a TikTok on it. But, you know, the universe is cruel. And it's got me saying something that I never thought I'd say before, which is, I wish I never met them. Now, they didn't take anything from me. You know, they didn't abuse me in any way. What they did wasn't their fault. See, I've gone through most of my life feeling like something was missing. Every relationship, there's something missing. And I didn't know what it was. So 2 years ago, I met somebody that was just looking for a friend. And that's all we were going to be. But it ended up being more. And then he ran. And I was devastated. I mean, devastated. I tried everything I could do to pull him back. Because being around him felt like home. Not the home that I experienced as a child, but the home I always wanted. So when things ended, I was devastated. And I went into a spiral. And that's not uncommon for someone like me. Disappointment, rejection, those things, just feeling like I'm not good enough or I don't deserve. There's so many things that are in my head that I can't get rid of. And I say I love myself. And I do love myself. But it's easy to question whether I should when the people who love me will tell me what's wrong with me. It's rough. It's rough having that in your head when you're used to people not building you up and maybe not tearing you down. But you can tell that they're just dealing with your shit. So things went sideways on that. And he popped into my life a couple of times, a little bit. And I didn't think much of it. But the last time, I wasn't in a relationship. And I told myself, don't fall for him again. Be like he was. Don't get invested. Don't do it. And I did. Can't help myself, right? People throw out crumbs and I act like it's a feast when it's not. I'm always trying to make the best out of the bad. And I started fighting for him. And then I started questioning whether I was fighting a losing battle. you know, because there's always a part of me that even though I say I love myself, there's a part of me that says no one else will love me wholly. No one will get me. There's always going to be shit I have to hide, or parts of me that I have to cage up, or I have to fit in a box that they've built. You know, and that's how I've lived most of my life. And this person came along and made me feel like I was finally seen and not disliked for what they saw. But the second time around, I messed up. I messed up bad. I wasn't paying attention to time or to his behavior. So when we first got together, he wasn't drinking. Now he does. Not the hard liquor, but alcohol is alcohol. A beer will get me sick. Just to, maybe not as easily as whiskey or tequila, but, you know, I'm a lightweight on that. But and then he'd take that sleeping pill. And so many things happened when he was under the influence of the alcohol and the sleeping pill. And I didn't want to see it. Let's face it, I didn't want to see that the only real interaction I got out of him, the only crumbs he was throwing me, were when he wasn't completely sober. It brings to mind that line in Lithium by Evanescence. Just didn't drink enough to say you love me. And it also brings to mind the song, you know, like when he would say sweet things. Brings to mind the Evanescence song, Call Me When You're Sober. You know, and I threw down a gauntlet yesterday. And I said, I'm not going to pursue you romantically anymore. Because I realize there's no space for me. Because see, what he doesn't know, what a lot of people don't know, is that I would go all week waiting for a text and getting excited. And then I'd be like, maybe I'll get to see him on Saturday or Sunday. There were times I knew that he had stuff to do. You know, wrote this man emails every night because when he was drunk or fucked up, he said, no, I enjoy those in the morning. I light up a cigarette and I read your message. And I know from my last long-term relationship that those messages I write in emails, they don't mean shit. They don't get addressed. Nothing that I say gets addressed. Nothing. And yet I continue to write them because I'm like, hey, I go in, I dive head first in. I don't even check to see how deep the fucking water is. I just go for it because I don't know any other way. Like half-assing things is not my way. Like, if I half-ass something, I don't want it. You know, And like yesterday, I slept most of the day away because like I sent 2 texts and it was radio silence. And the day before he had said he might come see me. And I was like really excited about that because he said that when he was sober. But he didn't even text me. So I sent a text. And didn't hear shit. But when I woke up, there was a text. Written when he was probably pretty well out of it. I don't know what he was doing before then because, like I said, nothing. I thought my text would just get a, okay, you know, like, I don't fucking need you, don't fucking want you, be on your way. And I mean, I knew that things were one-sided because it felt like, you know, I'd say, hey, you know, lay it on me. What you got going on? What's in your head? You know, what do you need to talk to me about? But my shit I had to keep to myself because the times that I kind of let it be known that I was struggling, he called me crazy. He was never my safe space. I thought he was. I tried to make one for him and I told him, I was like, hey, I'll always be here if you need me. And I know that if right now he sent me a text and said, hey, come over, pathetically, I would go. I would go. Because I'm pathetic. But see, right now, I could do something. I could take a certain pill and be like, dude, I ain't going anywhere. And I probably should do that. But I don't think he's going to send me any kind of message that says, wish you were here, missed you, blah, blah, blah. Because by the time he might send something like that, he's already affected. It is a cruel trick of the universe to show you what you want and you can't have. Not because, I mean, it's cruel enough, like if you meet a new friend and you go to his house and he's got this awesome wife and you're like, man, he does not appreciate her enough. I would treat her like a queen, you know, like that's one thing. That is a person who is unavailable to you. Like they're in something. But when somebody's not in something and they're unavailable to you, it just hurts. And see, I know from all my years in this world that the qualities he has that I fell in love with, I've never come across anybody like that. And that's why I never fully fell out of love with him. And I had told him the first time things ended that he was the gold standard. And he is. Except for the fact that he doesn't want me. He was the gold standard of what I want. And I don't know if those qualities exist in somebody who's not completely fucked up like he is. I don't know. And I've shown time and time again in my life that I am so fucking stubborn when it comes to giving up. held on for so long, even when it felt like there were times he was stomping on my fingers trying to let me go, get me to let go. People said, why are you still talking to him? And I defended him. So it's like, you don't know his life. I'm not going to leave him. I'm not going to hurt him like others have. I thought he was my person, but he's not. And, you know, he did stop me from making a mistake, because one of the days he called me, I was going to hook up with somebody who basically I was using. I mean, that person would have been using me too. Don't get me wrong. Like don't get it twisted. That person was going to get what they wanted too. But it was selfish reasons. It wasn't right. I just knew that person wouldn't reject me. And I really needed somebody to not reject me. Somebody who I found attractive, because see, that's the important part of things. It can't just be anyone. It has to be somebody you're attracted to. But he stopped me from going forward with that. But I wouldn't have been trying to go forward with that if I wouldn't have been in conversations with this person and been told, leave me the hell alone, which triggered my rejection sensitive dysphoria. And this was after I had rearranged a whole weekend that my son actually wanted to spend time with me on. No call, no show. Like, there were so many times he showed me that I was nothing. You know, and I mean, my friend, like, I used to have all these friends that I was the last person they called. I was the person they called if everybody else was busy. I was last resort. Or if they needed something, they knew, well, she's not doing anything because she's never doing anything. She has no life. She has no friends. And, you know, I took those scraps and said, well, hey, I may be like their last option. I may be the person that they're like, well, I'm bored as fuck and I know she's not doing anything. At least I get to do something, you know? That's how it's made me feel. It's to just be considered. But, you know, I've been dying inside. And some days all I can do is just go to sleep because the thoughts in my head, are just, they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. And I don't want to think them. But this world I live in reminds me that I don't fit. And I can't have what I want because either I don't deserve it or I'm not good enough for it. I say life's not fair. It's not. Because if it was fair, I mean, there are people that love me, warts and all, but there's always something missing. There's something missing, and I don't know if this person would have been the missing part. I don't know if I had won the battle, if I had won his heart, I might have ended up in the same fucking place that I've been so many times going, is this it? Is this ain't enough. Like, I don't even know if I am capable of truly being happy with somebody. I don't. Because, you know, maybe it's the way I've picked. I don't know. But I know that I feel like I've never truly been happy. Now, in hindsight, I can think of the guy Mike I dated back when I was 19 or 18. I loved him a lot, but I don't know if I was happy. I don't know if I was looking at other people wishing they were him or he was them. I don't remember. Time fades, and it can either make something great seem not so great, or something not so great seem like it was splendid. But even if things were so great, he left me too. It wasn't my choice to leave. I stay too long. I fight too long. I hang on too long. Because I just don't feel like anything is just given to me. I have love for myself, but I have low self-esteem when it comes to other people, because I need to know that I matter. I need to know why they love me, that they love me. I need to know if they see a future. I don't need to know where I rank in someone's life. I don't need to know that. There are a lot of things I don't need to know, but ignoring me, ignoring what I say, it just really hits that rejection sensitive dysphoria, because there's a part of me that always feels like I am not good enough. I'm too much or I'm too little. And I hate it that I'm crying, because, like, I don't want anybody to go, oh, boo-hoo, poor you, welcome to life. You know, like, throw yourself a little pity party. You know, because, like, I know in a lot of ways I'm pathetic. I am pathetic. And that's not how I feel about me. That's how I know people see me, or how I fear they see me. I'm tired. I am so tired of having hope for certain things, believing in certain things, believing I've found certain things, believing I can have them, and then getting my ass knocked into the dirt because I was too much or too little or not right, or Whatever the fucking reason may be, I've heard all kinds of reasons. Having to let him go is going to be the hardest thing I ever do. Possibly. Don't want to be lying here. Moving on. Which I know with Jade and Inner Bitch running the show in my head, which Jade has been up quite a bit to bat, overtaking Dippy. Because Jade has been aware of, oh, he's drunk. Don't listen to a word he fucking says. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Actions speak louder than words. You know, and of course, Cynic has had her back. And Inner Bitch is just like trying to be supportive, you know, just saying, you deserve better than this. Damn straight you do. This ain't fucking fair to you. You're better off alone, because the only time you don't feel alone is when you're talking to him or you're with him. But the rest of the time, you feel alone, and that's like 95% of your fucking time. And then you get upset because you're not seeing him this weekend. So let's just cut ties and get the fuck over it, right? And that's what I'm gonna try to do. Get the fuck over it. And I don't hate him. He hasn't done anything wrong. He warned me. I walked in with my eyes open, knowing that things could turn out bad, and knowing my luck. So it's all on me. The pain I feel, all of that, it's all on me. And I'm going to have to get to a point where I am not feeling so jaded, because nobody deserves the jaded version of me, especially when they ain't earned it. He's earned it. He's earned my thoughts being jaded when it comes to things he says that are nice, and other things. But nobody else deserves me putting on them this bullshit. I gotta heal, and that's gonna be tough. But I've been through some things. I have been through a lot of things. And to a degree, I'm proud of myself for saying, hey, I gotta let go now. I have to let go of this, because it's killing me. My mental health is important. And if you're going to affect it, you need to affect it positively. Because the depression I've been going through, I don't need more added. I don't need more shit added. So, that's what I got to say.